Hello and welcome to Woke Watch, and today we'll see that in the mind of the woke, nothing is sacred. You see, there's an online radio station called Yoto which is aimed at children, and recently it uploaded a very famous classic album. But one of the songs has had to be removed because in the mind of those who attend the Church of the Eternally Offended, the lyrics aren't suitable for younger listeners. In fact, the whole album has a content warning on it. But bear in mind that for the woke far left, it's fine for deranged teachers to explain to young children that said children might not be the gender they were assigned at birth, even though it isn't at birth, it's at conception. The same schools which will allow drag queens to come in and read to young children, and woke parents will take said children to see said drag queens performing their incredibly sexualised routines. Now, given that this album came out in 1981 and the song itself was released in 1978, it'd best be fucking horrendous. So the album in question, if you're watching this and you're over the age of 35, I guarantee you own it. It is Queen's Greatest Hits Volume 1. And you own it because everyone does. In my favourite novel, Good Omens, and if you've watched the TV series, do not judge the book on the adaptation, there's a running gag that any tape that's left in the cassette player of a car for more than 2 weeks automatically changes into Queen's Greatest Hits Volume 1. Because that book was written in 1990 and the album was still everywhere 9 years after release. And I'm a bit of a Queen fan. In fact, I have a very simple personality test I use when I meet people for the first time. If the topic turns to music, I will simply ask, do you like Queen? There are 3 answers and 2 are acceptable. The first is, yes, of course I like Queen. Everyone likes Queen. The second is, it's not really my thing, but I can appreciate it. Those 2 are acceptable. The third answer, no, I can't stand Queen. Why would anyone like that? I will never talk to that person again, because clearly they're a twat. We currently live in a world where Cardi B can write a hit record about her very well used vagina. Most rap songs will have around 10 mentions of felonies per verse, but the song that's been banned by those of a woke mindset as it's unsuitable for children is Fat Bottomed Girls. Yes, really. The song was written by Brian May, not Freddie Mercury. Hardly surprising because we know Freddie was bisexual, but he was more into men. But those who dance the wokey cokey say that this song, which was released 45 years ago, is sexually suggestive, sexist, body shaming, fat phobic and misogynistic. Sorry, how is a song about being attracted to women with big asses fat phobic? Given that the body positivity movement are insisting that monstrosities like Lizzo are attractive, how on earth is this song problematic? Although I saw an interview with let's say a larger lady, who said she can't bear to listen to the song because it's so offensive. It makes her cry. Now I'm sorry, if you can't bear to listen to it, how do you know the fucking lyrics? I don't know how she knows the lyrics, because we all know the lyrics. It's one of the best known songs of all time. However, I'm not going to quote any of those lyrics because Queen's record label have a habit of suing people. I don't honestly think anyone is that offended by the song. It's just the woke needing something else to moan about. And if there are people who are genuinely offended by a song about finding fat birds attractive, why don't they just not listen to it then? Or even better, maybe lose some fucking weight, rather than trying to deprive the next generation of a song by one of the greatest rock bands of all time. And to use woke logic, I could argue that Freddie Mercury, Farouk Balsala, he had brown skin and he was into men. So frankly, I think their argument is racist and homophobic. Do you see how bloody easy it is to make anything woke? Oddly enough, this story is in the news today, and when I went to go onto the Yoto Radio website, it's down for maintenance. Yet I was able to find their top 10 most played records and some Spotify playlists made up of the station's content. So in the top 10, 2 records I don't know. One is called Self-Medicate, because that's a great message for children. Hey kids, take the pills your mother hides in her medicine cabinet. And the other is called Like a Psycho. but the Queen track isn't suitable for children. So, songs which are on the Yoto playlist include Jazzy Jeff featuring the Fresh Prince, Boom Shake the Room. And of course the Fresh Prince is Will Smith, a man who assaulted Chris Rock in front of a global audience at the Oscars. Now, putting that to one side, the song itself makes fun of people with speech impediments, sexually objectifies women, and is packed full of sexual innuendo. But apparently that one's fine for young kids. There's also Ronan Keating's song, You Say It Best When You Say Nothing At All. And I've always had an issue with that song because if we pick those lyrics apart, it could be argued You Say It Best When You Say Nothing At All is a man telling a woman, you say it best when you shut the fuck up. Keep quiet, woman, or you'll feel the back of my hand. There's also my favourite Christmas song, Stop the Cavalry by Jonah Louie. But the lyrics to that song are about a soldier fighting whilst the war teeters on the edge of nuclear annihilation. Is that more traumatic for children than hearing a song about women with rather large posteriors? How about this for a radical idea? Why not let the parents decide what their children can and cannot listen to? Why can't the parents step up to the plate and actually do some bloody parenting? Because bear in mind, there are woke parents whom, if their son picks up his sister's Barbie, will dress that boy in a dress and work out how, on the day he turns 18, they can have his cock cut off. If they can do that, surely they can create an appropriate fucking playlist. Once again, this sums up wokeness. Some of their own find a song offensive, so they seek to ban it, thus depriving anyone else of making their own mind up. And I'm sorry, but banning a Queen song, that is beyond the pale. Not only that, but Brian May, who wrote the song, is of course now Dr. Brian May. He has a PhD in astrophysics. So if he says what makes the world go round is fat-bottomed girls, I for one am not going to argue. And just before I go, if anyone's watching this thinking I'm going on about being a Queen fan just so I can batter the woke, that's not the case. That there is my Freddie Mercury tattoo. As ever, thanks for watching.